Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy, Ivorian Spice, and welcome to the Catch Up Volume 51. Another week, but it's a sad week. It's a sad week for England fans in general, the nation in general. I know, guys, you was up. You stayed up all the way to 11:30, 11 o'clock, whatever, drinking probably from midday. Your drinking session started from midday and then ended up in tears, having to go back to work tomorrow. Guys, I know it's not easy. But for those who are here, welcome to the channel. Of course, this is the last the Euro podcast, of course, of the catch up. We will be resuming back to our club, Manchester United, but we are here to talk about England, our beloved nation, even though we're hurt and scarred right now. But we are strong people, guys. Big ups to you guys as usual. If you're new to this channel, remember to subscribe, smash that like button, and also remember to share. We like to thank you for watching as well. Big ups to the guys that's joined us today. We've got Talk MU and also, of course, Munzi and Amuk, my co-host. Big ups to you, man. Thank you for showing up. First of all, Munzi, how are you doing? How was your weekend? I don't even know what to say. Just how are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm still alive, so that's the main thing. I had COVID for so long, but yeah, it was disappointing yesterday, but we'll get over it.
Definitely, we will get over it as days go by. I can hear myself in echo, guys. Am I being played anywhere else? I'm not too sure. I can hear an echo of myself, but it's okay. But yes, Talk MU, welcome again. Thank you for coming back. How's your weekend? How was yesterday? How are you feeling?
Firstly, I'm feeling proud. I'm feeling proud of the boys. I'm feeling proud of Southgate. I know he's made mistakes we'll get onto. But I'm just proud that they give me that moment. I said it last night. Our moment was the Denmark game. I've never experienced that before, and I'll cherish it. I'll cherish it forever. So yeah, there is an air of kind of if only, but at the same time, there's an air of yes, we achieved, we broke our hoodoo and we moved forward, and I'm looking forward to the World Cup. Yeah.
And Amuk, my co-host, how are you doing? How was your weekend? How's everything in general, brother? I know it's not easy right now.
Not at all. I'm alright, I'm just trying to stay strong, and obviously, like I said, optimism is what thing that I got about me. But it was painful yesterday. It was actually painful. That the thing, it was just too much. Like one thing I gotta say, I'm proud, and them boys did well. Yep. I got a favorite person that actually got love for. I actually got love for that person yesterday, and he's been for me good person. And that's Pickford. I got love for Pickford.
Yeah, Picky was brilliant. They were all brilliant.
I got love for Pickford. Like trust. Yeah, what I saw yesterday. Let's take the positives.
Before we get started and get cracking, guys, if you're in the cut, make sure you get yourself involved. If you're watching live and you're wondering what the hell am I doing here, of course we're gonna be talking about the final round-up, the final podcast of the Euro 2020 involving our beloved nation, England, looking at rounding up the Euro 2020, looking at various things, best players and etc. And of course, my favorite part of the show, which is question time. But let's get started, guys, straight away. Italy won, England won. Italy winning 3-2 on penalties after extra time, lifting the European Championship. Insulting us at the same time, saying that it's coming to Rome, which really, really hurt my feelings when I saw that. Bonucci, you douchebag, but it is what it is. We sang too early, and they're allowed to mock us because it clearly did show that the whole world knew that we were singing "It's Coming Home," and it never came home, and we probably feel embarrassed for that as well. But big ups to the Italians, congratulations to them. I am so proud of England from where they were before to where they have gotten now. 2 semi-finals back to back, a final. Next time, you've lost this final. It's a lesson to learn. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but it makes you hungry and it's a lesson to learn for the next time you get into the final to win it. And you would never ever want to feel that pain of defeat ever again. And this time you want to feel exactly what the Italians felt. So I'm confident that the players, the next time they get there, they probably might win it because they've had that experience of losing a final together for the first time, and they probably might not want to do that. But the whole game in general, England going out there to play against the Italians, starting off a bit defensively in terms of the defensive shape, which I cannot argue with, because before I was arguing with our manager Gareth Southgate's selections until I realized that, listen, he hasn't proven us wrong. He's getting things right. You know, I can't judge him no more, and I can't criticize his selections. The only thing I can probably criticize is the little things like the substitution. But his selection, you got it right because of who he was playing. That's my own personal opinion, you know. But it's about how the game was managed throughout the whole 120 minutes or so. It kind of similarly reminded me of my club manager, the way he managed the Europa League final. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. You know, those boys did try. England losing on penalties, I know it's a hard pill to swallow. And anyone can lose on penalties because it's a lottery. And for what happened to the boys that did miss, disgusting. Well, we don't have to say it. You guys know that. You guys know that. I'm going to start it off with you, Talk MU. I'm going to let you set the pace and then we can all get involved. Mm-hmm. How did you feel about yesterday's game?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we started off the way we did, I was quite excited. So I was like, "Ooh, we're, you know, this is happening. This is happening." You know, we really, really like sort of took the game to them, really, didn't we? We didn't sort of hang about. And then, you know, Luke Shaw, that fantastic ball in from Trippier, you know, and then Luke Shaw scoring that goal. I mean, it was a bit of a shock, to be fair, because it happened so soon. You know, I was like, whoa, shit, man, what's going on here? And so it obviously all positive. And then, yeah, the mistake we made, I think, from my point of view, is we allowed, especially the second half, we allowed Italy to grow into the game by kind of starting to. I think we began to worry too much about them. I think we took our eye off our own game, started to think and look at what they were doing. And that was the danger that I had at the start but I did say it. That look, I said, you know, Southgate's job here is also to tell the players, look, don't be concerning yourselves too much with what Italy are, what they're going to try and do. You concentrate on what you've got to do. All right, and that's it. You can't be doing both because you get yourself into all kinds of trouble doing that. And again, like I say, yeah, too pragmatic, and we allowed them into it. However, there is I mean, there's two moments that I want to talk about briefly. Yep. But there's one in particular that, for me, let me just put it this way: UEFA have made this competition, right? So that by the time you get to the final of this really elite competition, that then tells you that these are the two best professional teams that have done their best to get to this final. And are you telling me that in the eyes of UEFA and the laws of football, that it's okay to assault somebody who is going to be clear of getting a real good opportunity to seal that game? You think are you telling me that that's fine and it's just a yellow card when you have blatantly cheated and you have assaulted that young man? That was assault. That was not a foul. That was, I don't want to swear, but it was assault. Mm-hmm. He nearly garroted him. The power and the force he used to pull Saka back like that, that was assault. And in my opinion, that was a red card. And the referee bottled it. He bottled it. Simple as that. The Jack Grealish incident was, again, very, very questionable. Very, very questionable indeed. I don't even think he got a card. I don't think he even got a card.
He got a yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Or did he get a yellow?
Yeah.
Right, okay. But even still, you know, that was very questionable as well. So, but you know what? Like I said at the start, for me, the overall overriding feeling is I'm so proud of the boys. I'm so proud for the braveness shown in taking the penalties. Whether Saka should have been even allowed to take a penalty, considering his age and inexperience at such levels. I know he was absolutely great throughout the whole tournament. Okay, like we discussed, maybe there were parts of that game where he wasn't quite, at his best. But so what? So this is football. You can, there's going to be times where you're not, it doesn't quite work. Look at Italy. Look at all that. You go back and watch Italy. They weren't at the best in moments of that game. So it's that's one of those things. But you know what? Like you said, everything that came after it. The sad part about it is that we knew that was coming, and that is mostly the problem that we've got when it comes to the racial abuse that is received by our boys. It's, the fact that we knew and we were anticipating it, that tells you quite clearly the state that we are in with this. We have our own pandemic, and it is called racism.
Yep, we have our own pandemic indeed, and that is called racism. And like I said, it is sad because it's a constant thing that's been happening throughout. It won't stop. There's nothing you can do to stop it because I don't know. The thing is, I have to say, it's like sometimes the people who make the decisions, the punishment, are not the right people to be making the decision in terms of how people should be punished. Because to make a decision like that, you have to be in that person's shoe, and it's hard to be in that person's shoe to judge and make a disciplinary reaction accordingly and justly. I don't know. That's why I think for you to punish someone, you need to be able to relate and understand and know exactly be in that person's shoe. Amok, I'm going to move it up to you. England losing against Italy. How did you see that, and how do you feel about that, and what do you think of the game?
The funny thing is, I actually knew Italy was gonna score, and I said that it was just the way, like what he just said. We allowed them to grow up in the game, and we then did grow up into the game. They were danger. Like in my opinion, they played way better than England. Like within the first 90 minutes, second half they dominated the second half. England have the first 30 minutes of the match itself. But from there onwards, it was just the Italians. I don't know what happened. I saw the last 5 minute or 10-minute possession before Italy got the goal. I think it was either 79 or 71% the Italian, but it was in the 70s, and I was like, wow. Actually, this, and I felt like he just made few changes. Why didn't how do you call him, like Southgate? Why didn't he just bring someone in? Like that point there, make change. You need players in because your team been constantly getting pressed. Bring someone. Take that time off. Let the players cool themselves down. He did not. The Italians keep doing it. So I felt like the game management yesterday. For me, I gave him 40%. 6, like he didn't make it. This team the team selection was good, but just that game management in the second half. He did, for me, it was very poor. Like you said before, it reminded me of what Manchester does, and we get upset every week when we see this type of performances. But that said, the guys did well. They actually did well. I'm proud of the guys. They fought. The few people actually surprised me so much, and I might sound like as a hypocrite. Spice, you know this already. I didn't really like Maguire too tough. For some reason, this year just changed my mentality about Maguire. Like I've seen improvement individually, and for me, Raheem Sterling is a young king. Raheem Sterling is a young king. I think he did well. Very good performance throughout the whole competition itself.
Player of the tournament, in my opinion.
Like I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say the same thing, but we lost the final. And Pickford, I've liked him throughout the tournament, but yesterday it was just something else. Like on my little brother was here, me and my brother, we were just like, it was crazy. But I'm proud though. They got to the finals, and like this is a big milestone.
Yeah.
Next time, like what you said before, they all went in tears. They felt that pain. Next time, preparation will be 10 times better than this. So let's say big up to the man them. And I don't really cuss and say negative stuff too tough. But PP went online and said whatever they said. I hope they get punished.
Yeah.
I really hope they do get punished. Because these young youths, they felt the pain losing that final, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no reason to abuse them the way you lot did yesterday. So they're getting depressed. And they might start playing in the new Premier League season. They might start playing shit. We don't know why they're playing shit. Depression. You know what you lot caused. But we hope they put their head together. They're heroes. And also that picture for Rashford. Them fans, them that done that, we love them. We want to see more of this type of people.
Well, the one that patched up with love hearts.
Yeah. It's sad though. It's very sad. It's sad.
The one thing that people need to understand before I finish you up, before I interrupt, sorry if I interrupt, I'll let you finish off. The one thing that people need to understand about footballers, we are as fans, whereas we feel the pain, but you don't know how these players feel because they are the one that's living it and are in it. That they're the one that played 120 minutes running around. So we are upset. Yes, we're hurting. Our heart's broken. But just imagine how they feel. Losing that game, being in it, being involved, the emotions being involved. They probably feel 10 times worse than what we do because they will have to wake up the following day and it's in their head. They lived it. We just watched it. We didn't live it. They lived it. Yeah. So people need to understand that, before you start abusing players and going and attacking them, you need to understand that they already felt shit as soon as the last penalty was missed. Their hearts sank as soon as the last penalty was missed. They cried. They probably even cried to their mom. We didn't cry. I didn't cry. Monzi didn't cry. Amok didn't cry. Tokemi didn't cry. Grown men in that field cried because they knew exactly how that defeat felt, how it hurt them. But look, as you were saying, sorry to interrupt you, I just wanted to get that one across to the viewers.
I understand. But the game itself, I feel like next time the manager or whoever is going to be the next manager, that they need to do better preparation. They tell them we're different in the second half, and that was surprising. It was really surprising. And there you think, oh, let me bring new players in. Forget about penalties. Good teams go to the final to win the final, not go even the extra time. That's long. Get your game plan. But they tell them it's too much. Like, as much as someone to say whatever, they tell them came out playing football. They actually played well.
Yeah.
I can't we didn't achieve our expectation on that match. That's what I gotta say. Like, the Italians came out being on top, and even if they won the match in the first 90 minutes, they deserve it, in my opinion, because they play better. Team management, whatever they did in the second half, worked.
Mancini, there was worries about this, about his tactics side and everything else and game management side. But I mean, for me, right now, because let's have it right, Southgate he's not, and rightly so, shouldn't be released from his position. But what he must do is he has worked this team now since he first came in to getting us playing like that in that pragmatic style, right? He knows now that they can do that. So for me, his next project going into the World Cup will start now turning his attention to saying, right, look, we know we can do that side of the game. That's in the bag. Now let us try and look at playing a more attacking sense of football, style of football.
The thing is, sorry to interrupt you, but
well
said. Thing is with like Southgate and Ollie as well. He's got a team of 26 people. All right, take away 2 for the reserve goalies, but he's got to trust more than 11 that he puts on the field. Mancini's like, right, I'll swap them over. He's got to trust. He's got to trust more players because he could have had Sancho. Could have had. To be fair, like all the abuse that the black players did get, I didn't think they were the worst players. I think Mount was the worst player, and do you know what I mean? So that was all wrong. But he's got to trust more players than he does, because he had players on the bench. Sancho should never be sitting on the bench for that long to come on for 2 minutes. Never. Even the half-fit Rashford shouldn't be sitting on the bench. And you know how much I don't really like Rashford. But you know what I mean? He should not be sitting on the bench for that long. And Mount, I'm sorry, but I could have done what Mount done. I'm 38. He done nothing. Nothing. Sorry, I'm talking to you. Sorry, go on.
No, and you're right, because you look at the bench with all the talent that we've got on there and all the youth, then he can surely, you know what, we can do both. We can do both sides of the game. We can go, right, listen, we're going to go at these, we're going to get what we need, and then if we have to, or we feel like we should do, then we can switch it up and then play a bit more defensive if we have to. But we've got more than enough on that bench for us to, you know, go and give it and put it at teams and get a result. And I think now, hopefully, that he will see that and he'll learn from this, because he is going to be in that taking us to the World Cup. Like I said before, and rightly so. You know, he's earned that right, because he, like I say, he's got us to the final, so he deserves the opportunity now to take us to the World Cup. But I just hope that he does now, in the time from now till then, with the time he has with the boys, says, right, look, now we know we can do the defensive part of the job. You know, this more kind of pragmatic approach, but this time now, I want us to be, you know, it'd be a 4-3-3, which is probably the best, to be fair. Do a 4-3-3 and then go, right, let's try doing a 4-3-3 and wallop, and just check it to teams and really put it on them, you know, and really use our skill, use our pace, use our experience, because that's what we've got now. We didn't have before. We've got some experience under our belt, which is key. It's massive. This is what I think helped Italy with Bonucci and Chiellini. Their presence in that team, keeping everybody calm, and the trust you've got in those two players behind you, for you then to go and have the freedom to run and not be too concerned about leaving a bit of space, because you think it's all right. If somebody gets a run on, I know that Chiellini and Bonucci, like he was with Saka, that's one thing. If Chiellini wouldn't have assaulted Saka, I'd have been clapping him. If he'd have just gone over, if he'd have.
That was rude, though. That was rude.
That was
rude.
It was assault. It was assault, in my opinion. It was assault. You can't do that. But if he'd have just, like, you know, gone over there and just sort of clipped his heels, you know, and been a bit late and just clipped Saka's heels, you're like, oh yeah, your tactical foul. You know what I mean? You'd have gone, you know, crazy. But again, you see the positioning that he had, because he wasn't that far away, and it was only for the fact that Saka was just too quick for him that he managed to sort of skin him, and he didn't like it, Chiellini. But he was in the right place. This is what I'm saying with the Italian team, knowing if something goes wrong behind them, there's going to be somebody there in the right place, because they read the game so well and they anticipate so well. So yeah, you respect and big up the Italian side for that, because it's experience. And now we've got a little bit of that, you know, and for me, we can't go into this World Cup with this same approach, because we'll get done again. So I hope that Gareth Southgate can see that, and him and his coaching staff decide that, right, now's the time to switch away from this and go, you know.
That's true. Definitely agree with you. Improving his tactics, maybe get a different approach, change his tactics, because he's got the experience already. He's got the players, and this tactics did not work this time around. Improving it, do like what the Spanish done, and they dominated Europe when they did use that tactics. Well, that's well said, though. Well said. I was just like, well said.
I just want to interrupt you guys, because I've been sitting here thinking, yeah, Monzi, we didn't get your take on your thoughts of the game. I know you've added some stuff, but Monzi has been sitting there patiently. I would just like to know, Monzi, what was your take on the game as well?
Well, to be fair, I think we scored too early. A bit like the Croatia game in the semi-final a year ago, a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? Like in the World Cup, we scored too early, really, and then we just basically sat back. And you could see it. You could see they were going to score all the time. You could see they were hanging on. And I don't think football nowadays you can hang on. I don't think you could. I think if the Italians went 1-0 up, I don't think they could hang on. I think it's the game's changed. Like, back in the day, like Arsenal or Liverpool, like, they could hang on for 1-0, but I think the game's changed so much. It's got quicker. Southgate, as Torquay and you said, Southgate's got to go more gung ho. He's sitting there protecting 2 defensive midfielders, and Maguire's been close to. The back 4 have been close to, like, all of them should be in team of the tournament. Do you know what I mean? They've all played well. All right, Walker's been a bit dodgy, but he's been carrying on. Got there. Shaw's been brilliant. Maguire, you didn't even heard of Stones really because he didn't have much to do. So I mean, he needed, and the subs were too late. I don't do it with but he had players there that could have changed the game and could have won it in proper time. If he'd have won it in proper time, we wouldn't have been here. We'd all be happy and stuff. But when it comes to penalties, I didn't get nervous through penalties because I just thought if we win, it's a bonus. If we lose, it's just the same. Same old. But yeah, you can't fault everyone's all the abuse that certain players get. I don't see it. Mount was awful all game. Kane wasn't good. You don't see any of that.
Yeah.
You don't see any of that. It's all because of the colour and all that stuff. I don't get too far in that, but it's you've said it mostly. But yeah, and I just as you said, talking, you said you could see it was going to happen. But yeah, they've done really well to get there. If you'd have told me England would have got to the final of, Euro
2020, I did 2 weeks beforehand. Remember?
I wasn't listening. I was deaf.
I just want to introduce Ems, of course, since he's on. Ems, big up. I can see he's coming home from work, but
that's right.
We appreciate the fact that he's come out of his busy time to join the stream. Big ups to you, Ems. I just wanted to get your take on the game yesterday before we move along to the performances and players in Italy.
I felt like we scored first, and then we just sat back and defended, and then Italy took over.
Yeah,
and it was just mad, and I felt like Gareth took too long to change his tactics, and I feel like Italy got stronger as the game got as we got weaker. And can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And I feel like we should make some changes. I think Rashford and Santos should have come on a bit earlier. I expect them to come on after a minute here and then take penalties. What kind of rhythm is that? You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what I think he made some errors. And I think like Matt was non-existent. And I think we should have made a tactical change a bit earlier. Do you know what I'm saying? But then you have to give it to your talent. I think the best team won the tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
I just want to interrupt you guys because right now I'm wondering why is my mother's name on this. I just want to know if that's my little brother that is messaging me saying hello Patrick. And if that is, big up to you for tuning in. It's always good to have family that support you, with what you're doing. Big up to you, William. Out to you. I know that's my little brother using my mother's account, but it's okay. I understand. But big up to you, Williams. I love the fact that you tuned in to watch your big brother do his thing. Guys, let's go straight into the performances of the games. Of course, you saw Italy who performed well, who came up to light in the second half and controlled the game. And some players like Verratti doing their thing. There's a reason why Verratti was very important in the second, because he was getting the ball past the ball, making sure that players were getting the feel of the ball, getting the touch of the ball. And you got who else? Jorginho doing his thing. Unfortunately, their striker didn't do their thing. With us, Harry Kane not doing so well. One thing I have to say is that yes, I like the fact that Harry Kane drops and plays number 10, but big man, you're a number 9. Stay up front and lead the line. Do you know how many times I saw that striker where Harry Kane's supposed to be empty, vacated? I understand you want to play free. You want to release your wingers that have got pace like Sterling to pass the free ball on, but I don't know what Mourinho has done to you. You need to go back to what you was doing. Listen, I like the fact that you get assists. You got 19 assists or whatever in the Premier League last season, but you need to stay up front. And I believe England missed that Harry Kane that would lead the line and be there for the tap-ins and the final touches and etc. to move things on. So yeah, Harry Kane played bad.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yep, go ahead.
I feel like this guy was saved by his numbers, but if you reflect, man done nothing. If I'm honest, I'm not even trying to be like off. I feel like the numbers saved him from getting more criticism. I didn't think he done nothing. He done nothing in the tournament other than them goals he scored. In my opinion, I don't know about anybody else's.
There were moments in that game where he was vital, where he was winning fouls and getting free hits for the team, dropping him in. But it's the fact that he wasn't there for the final third when the play. No wonder why England only had one shot.
That's not his job, though.
One or two
That's
shots
not his
on
job.
target. I know that is not his job. He shouldn't
Grealish's
be
job.
dropping
That's Grealish's job. To get you set pieces.
Yeah, that's
Grealish's job.
Absolutely. And there's of course, you got Mason Mount who did fuck all in the whole entire game. Like I don't know what Mason Mount did, throughout the whole game. What was he doing? I can't tell you. But big up to Luke Shaw again. Roberto Carlos doing his thing.
Amazing.
You got Mr. Eastwood that says Kane has no competition. Guess what? Immobile got taken off. He got taken off. Immobile got taken off. And so like you can, if you trust your players, that you got people like Calvin Lewin who can lead the line and score goals. You could have given him a chance. There's so many other players. I know there's no you can say there's no competition. Someone that plays up front of Harry Kane's type of level, yeah. There's no competition in that and getting that kind of quality player because, of course, Calvin Lewin's a downgrade. But still, Calvin Lewin's good enough. He scored 20-something goals this season for the Premier League, done his thing. He's also won the Under-19s World Cup. He's got experience in winning tournaments. Some of these players do. So he could have substituted Harry Kane anytime given, Mount
Give people opportunity.
Bro, he come to be cheerleader. He come to be cheerleader, to be honest, bro. Because for me, he did. Because for me, this goes on from years I've known you. Anytime someone's an England captain, they ain't been doing their thing. They don't get subbed, bro. They don't get subbed. Like, I've seen this, bro. Even before Southgate, all the managers, they do it, bro. So why are you not? I'm not surprised, isn't it? Like, he wasn't good, but it's what it is, isn't it?
I understand it is what it is, and also big up the Manchester United and Man City defense. I've actually never seen the left side of the team was Manchester United. The right side of the team was Man City in that centre back. I've never seen a correlation get along so well. Noisy neighbors. I was like, bro, you guys are actually getting along and doing this thing properly. Like, you should be fighting and saying, I'm not listening to you, Stones.
That's one of the things that we have to give Southgate credit for is getting rid of that club rivalry amongst the players. He stamped that out, didn't he, quite early on? And I think that's what's probably helped us as well in our team spirit, chemistry, etc. Getting to the actual final itself. And you know what? I mean, Harry Kane, to be fair to him, there were portions of that game where he was holding the ball up. He was making it difficult for the Italians. It was like getting free kicks, like you said. But it was a few times where he held the ball up and he turned and he got the pass away to create an opportunity. Mm-hmm. And he just got a question: if we'd have had another striker on there, would things would have been different? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it would have. Maybe Harry Kane to pass to himself, for the football since he knows he's going to be there.
I think this is the easiest game for them, the Italian centre backs they've ever had. In my opinion, I think this wasn't a game for him. I think it was a game for pacey strikers that were going behind. Because think about it, he's playing in front of them. He's not going to run in behind. So Chiellini and Bonucci were enjoying. And I can't lie, their centre backs are amazing. I can't lie, man. At that age, and they didn't break sweat. I don't think they had to do with any sort of running behind.
Absolutely. People do say that sometimes you need pace. Sometimes you don't need pace. You just need this and positioning as a defender. Not all the time. I know we cry out for a centre back that has pace because obviously Maguire needs someone like that. But again, I remember Omondi told me this again. A good centre backs don't need pace. They just need positioning and this.
Yeah.
Be able to read the game and be able to position themselves in the right place. And that's what they need. And that's what they have, Bonucci and Chiellini. Very experienced, 35, 34, that's been there and done it. You know,
Spice.
yes.
Do you remember 3 weeks ago? I asked you a question. I said, do we get players like Verratti? Do we get them often? Did not
No,
tell
we
you they
don't. The
come like
Busquets
once
and
in a
them
while.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, that's what M said. Total domination. I was upset. You know, I was really upset the way we played in the second half because you got the goal. You've got the goal. You've got an advantage. We got just keep it. When you saw they changed the tactics in the second half a little bit, them players be running up and down, bringing new fresh leg. They time for them to get used to each other and start playing the same way they were playing before. Because sometimes players comes in, it takes like a few minutes, like 5-10 minutes for them to actually gel. Bring them early for that. If you bring a man like 85 minutes, what is he gonna do?
No, you feel
that really got me upset. That got me really upset.
My next question to all of you guys was: Did Southgate make the right substitution?
No, he didn't. He didn't make the right substitution or at the right time. Do you know what I mean? Like Phillips was out on his feet. He was gone, and he could. Even the commentator said that Phillips is gone here. He's got to come off. And Rice was playing like. Don't get me wrong. I don't rate Rice, but he played really well yesterday. He played well. Do you know what I mean? And he come off, and I'm thinking, what? And Mount should have come off second minute. But do you know what I mean? The timings are just. It was just like watching United in the Europa League final. But the only difference was we were crap. United were crap. England weren't. You know what I mean? First half, United were crap all the game. But you know what I mean? And you're thinking, you know, and they sit back. It's just. I've not seen it. I remember watching the game ages ago. I think it was Fergie was in there when we played Tottenham, and we scored early and sat back. And I thought, it's not going to happen. They're going to score, and then Tottenham scored in the last minute. You can't sit nowadays. You cannot sit back like you used to. And Southgate thought, I know, I'll get the lead and I'll sit back. I've got two defensive midfielders. I've got, you know, he didn't even. To be fair, he could have played blooming two attacking midfielders because the defence was so good, and he could have seen that. And we could have just went for it, but when Henderson come on, I thought, oh, here we go. I don't like Henderson because, well, he's from Liverpool. He plays for Liverpool, but
that was
he come on there and it was forward passing. And I'm thinking, that's what we need. And even Bellingham could have come on, but no, I'm just gonna, you know. But yeah, that's what Southgate's got to learn that. He's got to learn it quick. Like if we don't do nothing at the World Cup next year, then I think they will. Either he'll leave or they'll get rid of him. I don't think they want to get rid of him, but you know what I mean. But he's done so well this year. But if we don't get to the final or semi-final, say semi-final of the World Cup, that'd be a failure, to be fair. But he's just got to trust more players. That's what he's got to do. He's got to get. You know, when he first come in, there was the national, whatever it's called, Nations League.
Yeah.
Walker scored an own goal. Trippier was rubbish. He said they're not going to play for me again. All of a sudden, big splash, they're in there again. He's got to get. I'm not saying that Trippier and Walker shouldn't be in there. You know, they play well, but he's got to be a bit more ruthless. Say, right, you're out. No way. You said to me, Sancho's going to play half a game in the whole tournament. No way. I'm not really. I think Sancho's overhyped. Don't get me wrong, but no way. Not for Mount. No way. But that's how it goes, isn't it? But yeah, he needs to. The wrong substitutions at the wrong time, I think. But that's what I think.
Yep, it's like I said, Monzi said it's the wrong substitution even at the wrong time as well. We could pick up Bruno Fernandes that says that Southgate is opposed, and also we need a revolution. And Mr. Eastwood that says Mount was a flop, too much hype, which of course Monzi has to agree with you right there. Does anyone want to add on to what Monzi was saying early on regarding my question of did he make the right changes, the right calls?
Monzi just said it all.
Monzi has said it all. And another thing, okay, we have we was watching the game. We saw that the Italians were pressing. We saw that the Italians were just just knocking on the door throughout the game, and you can see it. You can see it yourself as a spectator, thinking the Italians will equalize eventually. You know the way we're playing. Could Southgate have prevented this by making changes that could have prevented us from scoring? Because we saw it. We saw that the Italians had possession. We saw that they were knocking on the door. They saw they just kept on coming at us. And the fact that we only had, I believe we only had 2 shots on target. We had 2 shots on target. We allowed that to happen. Could Southgate do any more to prevent that from happening?
Yep.
Yeah, could have attacked.
Could have
attacked more. He could have took, like Phillips, Bellingham on. I'm not sure about the Saka, whatever with the Saka coming on. I thought it was a good decision, but I mean, he's got to just Saka didn't really do a lot when he come on, fair enough. But 19 in the final. Do you know what I mean? If you'd have said to me, Darren, Munzie, you're going to be playing in the European final at 19, I'd be like, yeah, all right. I'd be like all over the place. But yeah, that's what annoys me. If you didn't have the experience, fair enough. Like time's gone by, we haven't had the experience. We've had Michael Owen playing up front at, well, I don't know how old he was, 12 probably, 18. Do you know what I mean? And we've not had no one behind it. We've got the experience. There's a team there that he could have put Sancho on. All right, Sancho went as quick, but a fully fit Rashford would have stuck him straight on. But
the other thing for me is that he's missed a trick in terms of like giving Italy a new psychological problem to deal with. When they made their changes, our players are then now thinking, all right, shit, okay, right, well, this is a new guy here. He's different to the guy I've been tracking, or he's different to the guy I've been marking, right? Yeah. So, and we didn't give that to the Italians, so that when they made their changes, they're just looking at us and thinking, well, you ain't making no changes here. We've got your number. We've got your number.
If you're thinking about it,
that's so true. That's so true. Well said.
We conceded a goal on a corner, and the smallest person on the pitch was marking the tallest person. So that was a mistake. But you could see they'll cut. To be fair, I don't think they'd have scored in open play. We had it, but defence and a goalie, everyone's coming in. Oh no, Pickford's had a dodgy season. Stones has been a bit dodgy. Walker's been a bit dodgy. All right, Maguire and Shaw haven't really, but you thought, all right, that's why he's playing right. But he didn't need to. He could have played He could have played Edison. He could have. When Bellingham come on, he was just run. I thought, this was. I ain't seen a lot of Bellingham, but I thought, put him on. Not many people. The Italians they'll know about him, but they won't. Do you know what I mean? He'd run at them, and then for them 2 old fogies will have to pick their sticks up and run. They wouldn't. That's what he'd run at them. Do you know what I mean?
I personally feel like, sorry to interrupt, yeah. I personally feel like, what do we expect? We've got a negative manager in charge, yeah. Man was playing he played a back 7, bro. A back seven. Like, come on. And then I feel like it's like his in-game management's not good. It's just like Ollie's, like, just not good. Like, man sits there 70 minutes, 80th minute.
Yeah, but if you'd have got Ollie managing England, then it might have been a bit different because, we ain't got that. United ain't got the players, but England have got the players. But you just don't trust them. But he trusts more players. I mean, he's got to trust them players. To be fair, Sterling, when he goes in, I thought, oh no, not Sterling. But he had a brilliant, and he trusted Sterling, and he was brilliant. And I can't say he wasn't brilliant, but he didn't trust some of the others as well.
Let me just interrupt you guys. You guys can continue as soon as I finish. Obviously, I treat these comments like it's like a super chats out here. Big ups to Matt, because it's Stu MC who says that Mount, and more importantly, Grealish and the Gammon Prince devoid of critiques from the press. Kane once again popped around by elite defenders till he's tired. This ain't Panama or Palace, Harry. Yes, as you're saying, guys, continue as you were saying.
And also, I feel like certain man ain't having a good game. It takes him for so long. Like, Mount was horrible, yeah. Man waited till extra time to sub him. Like, I don't get that. Like then I just don't get him. Like, he's so slow. He takes so slow, yeah.
Ems, I want to ask you a question. Speaking on substitution, what was your opinion on bringing on Rashford and also Sancho without them getting even a touch? Because of course you saw Rashford getting warmed up on the very beginning of the second half of extra time, and he took about 10-12 12 minutes for him to come on until the last minute. What did you think about that? Because the fact that they never got a touch to warm up their legs to even know how their ball feels like, you know, just in case they decide where they want to shoot in terms of penalty. What was your opinion on that?
I think that was poor. He hanged them out to dry. Man, they didn't even get like 5 minutes, like. And I felt like when he got after 90 minutes, I thought, yeah, after it came for penalty. And I'd have more respect, if we lost on extra time than we did on pens. You know what I'm trying to say? I thought that's cowardly. Like, it's cowardly. And I thought like at least Rashford and Sancho should have had about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And even that too small. And I feel like if we're not gonna put Sterling to take penalties, you might have took him off in the game and play Sancho if he's gonna be your penalty taker. At least you don't trust Rashford or Sterling to play. I mean Rashford or Sancho to play. And you only use them for penalties. I didn't get the whole thing. And after I thought, you know what, when I look back at it, the Italians deserve to win. And I felt like, you know what, when you look back at it, I felt like runners up, it's not bad, but when you're in the final and you get there, you want to win it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Got to turn up. Got to turn up in the final.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to turn up in the final. But some players didn't turn up, same as United. I think Cavani turned up, was it. But too many players didn't turn up. You know what I mean? And to be fair, Rashford played his best game in the tournament. You know what I mean? They had a cracking tackle at right back. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's true, though. That's true.
End of the day, Greenwood never went because he was injured. Rashford was more injured than Greenwood. He shouldn't have gone. They should have took Ward-Prowse, anybody else. He shouldn't have gone. End of.
Go talk Patrick Bamford.
Rashford. He shouldn't have gone. He shouldn't have gone. You know, he didn't go anyway. I don't think he should have been.
Why? This is something saying like why that selection?
He's in. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, but he's injured. It's come out today that he's going for his op. He's going for his operation today, so he was injured.
I don't understand. And Henderson went on this competition injured.
Yeah.
Why is he playing? Why not Bellingham?
Well, if you think about it, Maguire went injured as well.
Yeah, but Maguire
recovered.
He recovered and got back.
Oh, yeah, I know that. But yeah, I know. But
one thing I have to say is that, guys, I didn't like the fact that he took off Henderson because I felt Henderson was ideal and mentally strong enough to lead the team.
I'm not sure about that.
You're not sure about that?
Henderson is a good leader.
I've seen Henderson take a penalty.
He's a good leader.
Shootout.
He's a good leader.
He will take it.
If you're not mistaken, the last penalty he took against England for England, he missed it. The one before that against Colombia, he missed it. So don't get
oh shit!
He's a good leader.
You're right, but he's the leader. Do you know what? Yeah, you're right. You know, I just remember.
Honestly,
just remember.
I'm saying he's a good leader.
Yeah.
He's a good leader.
Luke Shaw should have took one. Definitely.
I thought Luke Shaw would be the guy. Guys, I'd like to thank you for you guys who are watching. Make sure you smash that like button. Also, make sure you share, of course. A couple of people watching. Of course. Sharing is caring, especially sharing Ivorian spice is really, really caring, guys. You know, share the spice. You know, share the spice like you're sharing the spices with your wife's spices. You know, do you know what I mean, guys? But yeah, I like to end this because we need to just round it up a bit. Man of the match, donkey of the match in that game. Man of the match for me, got to go. I thought Declan Rice was superb.
Yes,
absolutely superb. He was my man of the match. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Saka. I'm sorry, but you did come on and he didn't impress to me. I thought Saka had a bad game. No, despite the penalty, I thought he had a bad game. I saw him with the ball, what he did on the ball, losing the ball, just being easily dispossessed so easily by the defense. I didn't think it was the right man to come on.
True.
No,
it was the wrong man. But he tried, you know. I just thought he was my donkey of the match. Not because of the penalties, it's just his performance. And again, I know people kind of ridicule him online and etc. because they use that as an excuse. But for me, as I said before, he just wasn't good enough. That's
Saka.
all.
Yeah.
Kemu, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna move it up to you. I want to know who your man of the match is, and also who's your donkey of the match for the England game.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I agree with you. Declan Rice was just like insanely good. It was just immense. He was, he did what he had to do all over the place, and you know what? Yeah, I want him at United. If we sign that guy, I'm going to be very happy indeed. And Munzi's shaking his head.
M said no.
Ems and Munzi are shaking their head.
Why?
We'll get to that right now. Let's address the elephant in the room, because there's two elephants in the room that are saying no.
Why?
We just want to know quickly why. Just why.
Munzi.
The reason why is because Rice only turns up when he needs, not when he needs to turn up. When we're struggling, Rice turns up. He needs to turn up when we're playing well as well. You don't ever see Rice play. When we're playing well, he's usually non-existent and he's rubbish. But like yesterday, when the Italians were all over us, he played well, and we can't.
Yeah, that's his job, though. That's his job.
No, I'll take that though. I take that.
No, that's
when the team is playing good, but the day the team is playing poor, I want you to turn up. I take that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a DM. He's a DM. He's not.
Yeah,
there's players ahead of him. There's players ahead of him who are supposed to.
I think he's over. Right?
Listen, I'll tell you what.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, right? Sorry to interrupt you. Man don't need Rice. I got Rice at home, bro. I don't want him. I don't need him. Listen, the fact of the matter is, them figures we're talking about. I'll go get someone from Africa to play how he plays. I don't need that. Yeah, he's basic. No, but he's like, I don't see nothing exciting. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'd rather flipping this firm having McTominay in our team if we're gonna get Rice. I don't get it.
That's true. Work hard.
For me, I don't get it.
I mean, Declan Rice is the bell.
Yeah, he's better, but
you know what? Let me just ask you. Listen, I don't know if any of you have ever played the game, right, at any kind of level, but when you're playing a game, right, and you're playing that kind of system where there's only going to be two at the back, and then you've got that one in front of them who is the recycler, who is the outball, who is the long ball passer, who can anticipate and read and cause a problem for their attack to slow it down, to give the left back, right back time to get back into position if they're a little bit late and they've not read the situation. That is massive. But there are players in front of him who need to do more than he does. And that's his job.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's his job.
Sorry.
Guys.
You said something like long ball passer.
We need to move on. Just to let you know.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to know, talking you, who was your donkey of the match?
Oh, God, man.
Mount.
No,
Mount.
Yeah, Mount. Yeah, Mount.
Big up, Mr. Easty. This is big up, guys. Great show. And of course, Bruno Fernandes has said that he's found the new United kit. It's been leaked, so you guys should be able to see it. I just want to know quickly, who was your man of the match and who was your donkey of the match in that game?
My man of the match was the keeper, Pickford.
And donkey of the match?
My donkey of the match gonna be Mount. I thought he had too much time on that yesterday to do something.
And talking, not talking me. Munzi, what about you? Who was your donkey of the match and who was your man in the match?
Even though I just slagged him off, I'd say right.
Can't do that. Not having it. No. You can't pick my Rice, man.
It was going to be Rashford, but he made that cracking slide tackle at right back. So I'd say Mount donkey of the match, definitely.
Mount's donkey of the match. And of course, Liam 07, big up to him, Liam. He says Mount sucks. Ems, who was your man of the match and who was your donkey of the match?
I'm conflicted, you know. Hey, you know what? I ain't gonna lie here. Bruv, it's either the fridge on his back here or Lukey, bruv. Lukey Shaw, bruv. But I might just give it to Slabhead. I might give it to Slabhead, you know. I might give it to Slabhead, but then but you know what? No, seriously, I'm gonna give it to Maguire because that penny with the top corner, everybody, I wasn't expecting that, so I'll give it to Maguire. And then
Definitely.
Donkey's flipping. What's his name? Southgate, Reba. Southgate.
What?
Yeah, Southgate.
Let me swallow my drink for that.
Like,
Wow,
I
wow.
agree
That's
with that
hard.
though.
Is it because I understand it's the way Southgate managed the game
His engaged
towards the end.
management.
I'll be honest with you, some of his in-game management is way better than our managers. One, but yeah, let's just move it on, guys. Of course, guys, if you're watching, please let us know who your man of the match was. And if you're watching the play that, let us know who your man of the match was, and also who is your donkey of the match. Make sure you smash that like button. Also remember to share. Another thing that we like to move up as we wrap it up, because Euros is done. I just want to highlight one thing. I just want to say one thing. Boris Johnson, you make me sick. A couple of weeks ago, you was criticizing, saying that the fans should boo English players for supporting equality and for what they were doing. Shipra, I mean, Priti Patel, you make me sick as well for what you said a couple of weeks ago, saying that people should have the choice to boo or not, or what's it called. And then for you to come out and condemn what happened yesterday, all you politicians, especially even our prince as well, he's also at fault as well. For them to condemn people, but you see your actions a few weeks ago, Prince William, we saw what happened with Archie. I'm not stupid and I'm not blind. Don't fool me. Priti Patel, you discussing. I'm so happy that Tyrone Mings,
ugly Patel, bro. Bro.
Came out and had a go at her, because a couple of weeks ago, you guys were against all of this, and then you have the nerve to say, we condemn all racism. No. Don't say it when it suits you to make you look good in the media, yeah? Because you don't condemn racism. You encourage it, because you was encouraging it 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah. And in regards to, sorry, I tried a little rant, like it was needed to be said anyway. In regards to Euros 2020, guys, this is the best part of the show, of course, where we talk about best player, most impressive young player, best goal that we saw. And we're not going to do team of the tournament as we're almost an hour in, and we'll do the game of tournament. So let's start off, guys. Who did you guys think? We're not going to dwell on it too tough because we need to hurry up. Who did you guys think was the best player in the tournament? Just give me just a brief reason why. I honestly just think that Raheem Sterling was one of my best players, was the best player, that he should have got that. I don't know why the keeper got it, but I understand the keeper was amazing, you know. But I honestly feel like Raheem Sterling carried England. He was the most impressive player. 3 goals, a couple of assists, says it all to me. Talk, Emu?
Yeah, Sterling's been my player without a doubt. He's just been absolutely fantastic. Sorry, what was the other one? What was the other question? Sorry.
No. That's it. We'll move it on.
All right,
to the others. And Amok, what about you? Who was your player of the tournament so far?
Like I did say earlier on, Sterling. He did prove to me that he's really about that life. And big up to him, though. You know, it's the option there. You know, we don't really pay attention to the option
But guess what? Raheem Sterling's a Manchester United fan. But anyway, as you were saying,
it's the option there. But big up to Raheem, though. He did good. I'm proud still. He's a young king. That's his new name, Young King.
Yeah, indeed. Big up Leon says racism kills our game. It really does. It really does. He has said that Chiellini has been the best player. He said Donnarumma's class as well. Mozzie, who was your best player in the tournament?
Well, I was going to say Sterling, but I think Maguire he's just been brilliant. He's been like a fridge. Do you know what I mean? I questioned him when he came into the fight. He's injured, and he has had a decent season for United. But yeah, I thought he was class. I'm just so glad we got him before these Euros, because that'd have been 100 million.
I know. That's what happened in the World Cup. We first attracted us in the World Cup, and then ended up costing us 8 million. And then he started playing for a club, and then just like every other player in our club, we just see the shit side of them most of the time. So seeing the best side of them because we get exposed. And what about you? Who was your best player of the tournament?
You know what? What's his name was impressing me? Chiesa.
It says Chiesa.
That's my second player.
Most impressive young player that you saw in the tournament? I have one guy, Isak for Sweden. Baller, baller on the ball, dribbling everything. You guys probably never watched Sweden games, but if you saw Isak, top baller, most impressive young player that I saw this Euros. Ems, what about you?
Pedri.
Pedri, fantastic.
Yeah.
Pedri was a baller as well. And Mosey, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say Pedri and is it Dansgaard who played for Denmark with that free kick? He looked like a baller as well. But probably Pedri he'll be my one.
And Amok, what about you?
I'll go for the same. Either Pedri or the other guy. He's good. Like Pedri turned up though.
And talk Emu, who was the most impressive young player that you saw in the tournament?
Yeah, when I've got the answer, my answer is right, and I'll tell you why. Where did those other players get to in the competition? Nowhere. Where did Bukayo Saka get us to the final?
To the final.
I was gonna say him, you know.
It has to be Saka for me. It's got to be Saka.
True.
The kid's 19 years old. He's 19 years old, right? And he comes into that squad, and he got us into that final. In that Denmark game, he got us that goal. It was down to him, because if he wouldn't have got us that goal, we may not have even got to the final. So for me, it's definitely got to be Saka. And anybody tries to diss me on that, man, we're meeting outside for a rumble.
The only thing I can say from you is that Saka ain't no Mason Greenwood, because you don't want to adopt Saka, do you now? You have to adopt Mason Greenwood, as you always say.
Actually, you know what? Now you know what? Actually, I might do. I did say, whenever Saka, this is how good I thought he was and how much he excited me and how much he made me smile. Whenever he's playing for Arsenal next season, I'm supporting him. As long as he's not playing against United, I'm supporting him, because he made me smile.
Now, it's true though. Saka is something else.
Yeah, we've got Liam 07 that says Doku, best youngster. Doku for Belgium was very impressive.
He's hard.
Very impressive. Oh yeah, of course, Ems, he's Ghanaian, isn't it? That's why you remember now. Now you're vouching for him, you know. I see you.
Yeah.
Best goal of the tournament so far, guys. In terms, I'm gonna go for Patrick Schick against Scotland from the halfway line. Ems, what about you?
Pogba.
Oh, Pogba's goal against the Swiss. I'm more go about you.
Same man, Pogba.
And talk MU?
It's a difficult one for me, because I've got two to choose from, and it's either Pogba, because it was a class goal, was absolute class. or Modric's goal.
Oh, yes, that
outside the boot.
Goal that brought it back. Yes.
Oh,
yes,
that was a sweet goal.
I forgot about that, you know.
You forgot about that, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was I'm going to go for Modric then, just because everybody else has said Pogba. Will give it a bit of balance.
Mosey, I was asking everyone what was the best goal in the tournament so far, and it's come to you now.
I'll just say Maguire's penalty, because I don't go.
That's not an open goal. No, open play goal. Open play.
I'll probably say that Danish goal, that Dansgaard. That was a nice goal. That free kick. That was a good goal.
What about Modric's goal with the outside of the boot? Or Pogba? Those two, man, they're like, nah, you're not having them. You've been watching too much. I think you've been watching too much rugby, man.
Pogba's goal was second. I give you that. Pogba's goal was good. That was.
Yeah,
everyone agrees with Pogba's goal, though. That's good.
Shake from the halfway line. You know?
Someone's got the shits from the halfway line.
Game of the tournament. I'm gonna have to go for Switzerland versus France. Switzerland knocking out France to me was my game of the tournament. Coming back from 2 goals after France was 3-1. Got to be that for me. And Ems is a bit loading right now. I reckon he's somewhere. I'm gonna move it up to you, Munzi. Munzi.
Well, I like the Spain one when it was 3-3 at full time, and then it went extra time. That was good. That was a good one.
Okay,
I can't remember who they played. Oh, Spain versus Switzerland. That's probably the best game I liked.
Oh yes. Talking, what about you? What was your game of the tournament?
My best game was the Spain-Italy game, because that was like two teams just going hell for leather. It was, you know what I mean? It was great to watch. It really was great to watch. And as we know, Spain nearly ground Italy down, and it could have well have been a different story in the final, but we'll never know. But you know what? Yeah, I'll go for that one.
And with you, Amok, what about you?
The Spain-Sweden game. That game was
Spain
too much.
and Sweden game.
You know,
you let me know what your game of the tournament was if you're watching. And last but not least, the most shocking moment in the Euros.
Oh, you know what mine is.
I know mine already.
You know mine. My most shocking moment of the Euros is Chiellini's assault on Saka.
The most shocking moment for you was Chiellini's assault on Saka. I hear that. That's my question time so far. And Amok, what about you?
The same. And just the decision afterwards. That should have been a red card, not yellow. So for me, that was shocking. And on the final as well.
And what about you, Monzi? What about you? What was the most shocking moment in the Euros 2020?
Playing Rashford right back.
How did it get to No. It was shocking though. It was really shocking that he put Rashford right back. I was like, Rashford, attack. But yes, I have to agree with you. I have to. My most shocking moment was got to be Kylian Mbappe missing the deciding penalty against Switzerland.
No, that was shocking. That
was shocking to me because I expected France to win. I expected
that's football.
I expected
him
to score. Sorry, guys.
That's football. I expected Rashford to score yesterday.
Hold on. Can we overrule? On this?
You can overrule, but can I ask Em what was his most shocking moment in this Euros?
Most shocking moment?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't even think, you know. Like, my mind's blank.
There's a lot of things that's happened.
Gareth Southgate not having his ones coat.
I like to change mine.
See, I told you. It was just a penalty. That's football.
I want to say the most shocking moment was Christian Eriksen.
Eriksen.
Actually, the PPR, the chest compression, what we saw, the way the TV showed it as well, everyone surrounding him. That was the most shocking moment for me. I take back the Mbappe one. I take that back.
Yeah. The thing with the Saka incident with Chiellini was really shocking. But
shocking.
But the one with Christensen was Eriksen. Was because I actually remember walking out of the room with my hands on my head, thinking, "Oh my God, have I actually just watched somebody like pass away?"
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
Yeah,
it really made me numb.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right there. How could I even forget about that? Sorry. Big up to Christian as well. Big up.
He's now with a pacemaker.
Get
back to kicking football. Hopefully this doesn't ruin his career and he has to retire, because it does this kind of stuff does take the best out of you. You've seen Fabrice Muamba had to retire from the game from this cardiac arrest. So sorry, just to end it off for us, what was your most shocking moment in the Euro 2020?
Obviously that one, and that tackle, the Sweden players tackling against the Ukrainian player, that was disgusting.
That was a bit of a naughty one. Yeah, that was a naughty one. That.
And then my father said, I got the ball. I was like, have you seen the tackle, my friend?
Ems, that was nearly as naughty as you saying that we don't need Declan Rice, but I'll let it slide.
You let it slide. And on that note, guys, we'd like to thank you for watching, for you tuning in. Of course, it's been a good show. It's a nice way to end the Euros, looking at everything. It's been a very good Euros. for every
Good luck next time
for England, and I'm hoping that in the World Cup it might be for us. And I'm not gonna start next year. I'm not singing "It's Coming Home." I'm not doing this again. I'm not getting myself involved. I'm not singing this. Because I got myself invested. I even wore my t-shirt, my England top on the final. I never wore it at all throughout the whole matches. I thought to myself it's bad luck if I do, and I started drinking early. I was like, you know what, today I'm gonna be Patrick from Ireland and start drinking from midday, lunchtime, and not know what's going on by the time the game kicks off. But it's what it is, man. It is. But guys, we'd like to thank you. This is the part where I go to the guys and they tell you where you can find them. I'm gonna start off with you, Talk MU. Where can the people find you?
Oh, yeah, just on Twitter at iTalkMU, on Rich Sports, SBC, Man United Agenda, everywhere. I put myself about a bit, no doubt about it.
Oh, yes, he's a big show as well. Like, thank you. Big up to Rich Sports. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. He's about to go live, I believe, around 10:30 when people do get jiggy with their women. I keep telling them, Rich, that people get jiggy with their women around that time.
Jiggy time for me is in the morning, mate. Morning time.
It is what it is. Sometimes nighttime you're tired. Morning, it gets popping. Where can the people find you?
On Instagram, Pretty Flacco _16.
That's it, sure. Guys. And Munzi, what about you? Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. So my Twitter's Finding Munzi, and my Instagram's Munzi6. And also, you can find me on the Man United Agenda. Sorting out all the guests. And that's about it.
Working hard behind the scenes.
Working out behind the scenes, You're not doing the same thing for me, but it's all right. I brought him into the game, so it's fine. I'm happy with what he's doing right now.
I forgot. There was one other place. There was one other place I forgot to mention there where you could find me, and that was looking for M's if we don't sign Declan Rice.
You don't find it. That's where you find it. Everyone's got Rice at home. We don't need Rice here.
What about you? Where can the people find you?
Right now, Instagram's deactivated, but the Twitter is M's Doms, isn't it?
No, of course.
I don't know if I've got you, man. I'm gonna go look for you now.
Is it M's Doms or M.Doms?
No, M's Doms.
Okay.
M Doms.
Yes, okay. And guys, as always, you know where you can find me. Ivorian Spice, Mondays 8 p.m., Fridays 9 p.m. if it's possible. Yeah, of course, match reactions if there's matches. But right now, you won't get a match reaction until the friendlies of Manchester United. So, guys, just tune in. And also, you'll find me on Friday on the Man United Agenda for an 8 p.m. stream, transfer talks, hopefully. And guys, of course, you'll see me on if there's any transfers, any big news, breaking news, I will stream them. We'll be focusing on transfers. Now, last but not least, of course, remember to follow the official Instagram account of Red United TV, which is Red United TV 1, baby. And also remember to follow the official TikTok account of Red United TV, which is Red United TV. And of course, remember to follow my personal Instagram account, not that I want you to anyway, is Ivorian_Spice, and same as the Twitter. Please do follow that, and also the Snapchat. Don't add me, please. Yes. And last but not least, to my ladies, as always, my ladies, my beautiful, beautiful ladies. Yes, I'm talking to you. And fellas, don't get jealous. Don't get annoyed, Don't get jealous of your girlfriend when I give her these instructions. Remember to share the link to your ex-boyfriend, and also remember to share the links to your current boyfriend. Also remember to share the link to that guy that always buys you lunch at work, your work colleague, hoping that he will get some, but he's only buying you lunch because he wants some of that, but you're never ever going to give him any of that because you're just going to enjoy the food for the rest of your life until you leave. Make sure you share the link to that dickhead right there. And also remember to share the link to the chicken man that always gives you a free hot wing, even though you don't even ask for chicken and chips. You probably get a kebab, a burger and chips. Because he likes you, he slaps a free hot wing, then asks you for your number, but you happen to give him your Snapchat, and he's absolutely happy with that. He goes about telling them that she gave me her Snapchat, but it is what it is. Also, remember to share the link to the guy that's always been trying to approach you at the bus stop, asking you for your number. You've told him several times, I've got, man. Out of anger and disgust and hurt, he's told you were ugly anyway. Remember to share the link to that guy. And also remember to share the link to the guy that's been trying to move to you at the train station, asking you for your number, and you happen to tell the poor sod that I've got a man, like, just leave me alone for the 100th time. And he keeps on telling you that, but we can be friends, though, with lustful intentions, you know? Remember to share the link to that guy right there. And also, last but not least, remember to share the link to your dad's sick, twisted friends who now look at you up and down because you've got breasts and bum and you look so pretty and you're grown, and they told you, my oh my, you have grown. And when you share them the link and they ask you, what is this? Tell them that you found a man that does it way better than you, and that's Ivorian Spice, period. Till next time, guys. Peace, love from everyone on this stream. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.